Good morning. I'm meteorologist Tom Sorrells. You have found the Florida Weather Authority. It is July 13th, hot summer night, mid-July. And man, oh man, is the heat part of the big story. We have several big stories going on, not only for Florida, but for the entire country right now. Take a look at this. We have a big heat dome that is back, taking over the nation's interior. Heat domes are raging this summer, while here in Central Florida, tick, 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 tick. The tropics, while not totally alive, are starting to tick. I'll explain all as we go through this update on the Florida Weather Advisory. First of all, I want to start with the heat dome. It's the big story. So far, really the big story of the summer is just how blazing hot it has been across the entire country. Not only Florida heat in Florida, but hot, 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 so hot, and lots of other places. Today, that big H you're seeing on top of Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota, all of that. That is a big, giant heat dome that has built in the last 48 hours. It was a very nasty, rough, hot weekend for the folks out there in the high plains, and that will continue today. The big ridge of high pressure is a heat dome. It is stalled. What it's done for that area, as it's cleared the sky out, sinking air has capped any relief. So the heat dome is on. The land is just baking underneath that subsiding air, leaving those folks out there with temperatures that are actually kind of hard to believe. I mean, take a look at this. I put the national temperature map up. It's some of the areas, you wouldn't be surprised by. I mean, look down here in Arizona, Yuma, 100, 103 in Parker, 105 in Phoenix. Okay, that's not unheard of. Happens with alarming regularity in Arizona, right? But take a look at what's going on along the northern plains. Look at Bismarck, way up here in Bismarck, 103 to 104 today. That is some kind of crazy heat. Come on down to the Rapid City, South Dakota, 104, Pierre, 100, Sioux Falls, about 95 degrees. Those are hot, blazing hot, crazy hot temperatures, all because of that big heat dome that is baking the nation's interior. Here's a close-up look. There's Bismarck, 104. Come on down to Rapid City, 104. Deadwood, forecast high today is 98 degrees in Deadwood. Even all the way over to the east there. Watertown, 92. Aberdeen, South Dakota, 99 is your forecast high. Now, by comparison, we're known for our heat in Florida. I get it. I kind of dig it. But take a look at the temperature readings for us today. We're talking Ocala, you're going to almost 90, 93 in Sanford, 94 in Orlando, and Kissimmee should max out today at 95. Down south, Miami, 95 along the Panhandle, Panama City Beach. First place I ever saw ocean water. Daytime high today, it's going to be in the upper 80s. So you compare Florida to Rapid City, South Dakota, and you see what I mean when I say the heat dome is the story. It is crazy, crazy hot and dangerously hot for folks who aren't used to it. Elderly, young children, even animals having a hard time with that kind of heat out west. You take a look at the warning maps, say the watches in the warnings from Minneapolis to Bismarck to Billings, all the way back around really to Salt Lake City. These are heat advisories, heat warnings, red flag warnings. Look at the Detroit metro area. Tomorrow, you've got a heat watch in effect already. Kicks in on Tuesday, the 14th. Not today, but tomorrow this all builds a little farther to the east. So the folks in Detroit, all the way over to Toronto, even Boston. You guys are going to get hot, hot, hot in the next 24 to 48 hours. As far as thunderstorm relief goes, well, you don't get any of that when you're underneath the big dome of high pressure. Hard to pop off scattered showers. So the folks out west from Rapid City to Sioux Falls to St. Louis, Kansas City, yeah, you're not in line for any big relief from any rain as long as that heat dome is in place. All across the Southland, from Nashville to Atlanta, all the way down to Jacksonville, Tampa, and Miami. Here at home today in Central Florida, we are just typical thunder showers in the afternoon. I'll show you in just a moment what I mean. The marginal zone is Charleston, just east of Atlanta and north of the state line. Maybe almost down into Brunswick, Georgia, but really I don't think so. I think It's going to stop just shy of the state line. So you're marginal for severe in those zones. Rest of us just afternoon thunderstorms. Right now, not a lot of activity. And here's that zone I keep talking about from Bismarck all down to Wyoming, South Dakota, Denver, still hot. Hot. All the way for the rest of the week. Now here's radar across the southeast, central Florida, dry for the moment. And when I say for the moment, it's only for the moment, because later this afternoon, kaboom, the big storms are coming back today. Now, again, we don't expect most of this to be severe, but you watch the loop of the modeling here this afternoon. This is the HER model, and you see the big explosive storms building by 1 or 2, 3, 4, boom, by 4:30 in the afternoon in central Florida, right on top of Orlando. This is what radar should look like by 4:30 this afternoon. We should have a band of showers all the way from Flagler County down to Daytona Beach, coming through Lake County and Orlando. Looks like we'll get a bullseye of some decent rain. Hopefully in Windermere. Yeah, my yard still needs it. Talking about rain from Lake County into Western Orange County. Looks like it will be north of MCO by about 4:30. And then all of this activity pushes on over to the east and leaves us rather quickly by about 7 o'clock tonight. Typical thunderstorms in the afternoon for July 13th in Central Florida. Now let's talk tropics. This is my favorite map. I talk about it all the time. Anytime we have a tropical view and we don't have any action in the Atlantic, I'm a happy man. However, the tropics are ticking. Tick, 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 tick. I've already told you today is July 13th. We flip a switch just like that, even though we've had nothing to really scream and shout about for almost a month now in the Atlantic or the Gulf. We're going to go on the clock, most especially by August 1st. We throw a switch on August 1st and things start to crank up. First things first, all of that Saharan dust that Amy was talking about, meteorologist Amy Sweezy, did an entire layout on the Saharan dust about, I want to say 4 days ago. You can find it. Just filter back here on the Florida Weather Authority. You'll see what I mean. All of this dust is coming our way. The big bulk of that should arrive by Wednesday. I say give it another 48 hours and you'll see more activity. I'm going to take me out of the corner shot here so you can see the entire Caribbean. And you see a wave, little wave coming right through here, producing some scattered shower activity right into Central America. But up here to the north, you see a frontal zone trying to die here. The big ridge of high pressure doing its thing, blocking things out. But right in this zone, as the front comes to here and they linger, they come down to the southeast. Florida does not get penetrated by many fronts this time of year. No, not at all. No big cold fronts come all the way down here in July. They come down in the southeast and they stall. And when they stall, we get wind direction one way above it, wind direction the other way below it. And we start to develop little pockets of low pressure right along those frontal boundaries. I think a little piece of energy is going to do its deal in the next week. I think by Friday or Saturday, we may have a little burst of energy to talk about. Back to my first things first philosophy. Look at this warm water. Just waiting. A large part of the Atlantic is not super hot. Not super hot. The Caribbean, super hot. Into the Gulf of Mexico, got that little loop comes up here. Whoop, puts that warm water right there in the Gulf of Mexico. It's not super deep, but the surface temperatures are up. So, in a manner of speaking, the Gulf is primed. Now, we do have wind shear aloft, putting the kibosh on any development so far, but that's going to alleviate. And watch this. See this loop? What does that look like to you? Let me take me out of the corner. What does that look like? What does that look like? Well, that looks like, hey, could it be tropical storm season? Yeah, that's what it looks like. There's a little burst of energy trying to build in the Gulf of Mexico. Here's what the model should look like by about Sunday. Yeah. It doesn't look totally put together. It's not a beautiful tropical system, but it's a little piece of energy trying to rotate. This is the European model. What it's globbed onto is the possibility of some energy developing there inside the Gulf and doing its thing, trying to get over that warm water. Shear backs down just enough, doesn't rip it to pieces, and so maybe it can develop. Here's the way it should look by Monday. Late Sunday night into Monday. That's deepening. It looks tropical, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Some of the ensembles trying to get their act together, put that thing right there. Yesterday, the ensembles took it into Louisiana. To give you an idea of how far out this is, we're talking 8 days down the road. We're talking Monday, Tuesday of next week for any development really at all. I really don't expect it's going to happen. At this point, I don't think it's much to fear, and it would just be a rainmaker if it does develop. But it's something to talk about and something to keep an eye on in the coming week and a half. Things have been so quiet for so long, but a week and a half from now, we will be approaching August 1st. And that's when the wickedness begins. The craziness does start. What you're looking at here are the ensemble models from the initialization models of the Euro. Give you an idea of what's going on. Some of the models trying to do the thing, they glob onto the energy, try to develop in the Gulf, try to make a low develop. Will it happen? We will take the wait and see attitude. But just know for now, the tropics are kind of ticking. Here you go with the winds aloft at about 900 millibars. It looks to me like they alleviate just a bit and widen. They don't tighten up the gradient's not super tight where it'd rip this thing apart. Might give it just this much wiggle room to birth a little bit of activity. It never wraps up. It never becomes anything big. But the tropics are ticking, and we're watching energy in the Gulf. All right, real quick, let's knock it out. Rain chances this afternoon in Central Florida, you've already seen that on the modeling, are going at about 50%. That is so prototypical for this time of year. It's like the gold standard, 50, 60% shot of rain if things are going right. And they are, and we're going to be hot. Normal daytime highs this time of year are about 92. Today, we're going to be above normal in Central Florida. The daytime high is 95. Same tomorrow, same Thursday. You get the picture. We're stuck. We're on rinse and repeat every day now for as far as we can see, with no big changes coming. Overnight lows are above normal as well. We're talking overnight lows in the mid-70s, 76 tonight into tomorrow morning, Wednesday 77, 78 by Thursday and Friday. So overnight lows mid to upper 70s. So your AC really does not get much of a break. There's your 7-day forecast. Read them and weep, folks. So there you go. Big stories for us right now are the big heat dome out west, the big rain chances for us, the tropics are ticking, and time marches on. Hope you have yourself a great Monday, July 13th. I am meteorologist Tom Sorrells. This is the Florida Weather Authority. Thank you for your time.